Hey everyone, my name is Lindsay. Welcome to Love Them Well. Today I'm going to share with you my summer reading list, and I'm really excited about it. So if you don't know, I am a teacher of middle school, and I'm taking my 7th graders on a virtual field trip to Universal Studios. So that's what this is all about. And it's gonna be really fun. And in most of my classes, we're doing theme park themes for the last few days of school. So this is a shower curtain that I have, and I thought I would use it as my backdrop. I just got this bag for Mother's Day, and it's super fun, and inside are some of my books for summer reading. So let me tell you that I take summer reading very seriously. My sister and I make lists. We watch the Modern Mrs. Darcy's book list that she reveals every summer, and a lot of times those books are new, so we have to buy them because otherwise it'll take months to get them from the library. And so we'll make up a list of the books we want to read, and then we'll say, okay, I'll buy this one, you buy this one. We usually buy about 3 or 4 new books during the summer, and then we swap whenever we're finished reading them. While we are reading, we sometimes take notes in the book. So if there's a part of the book that I really like, I'll mark that and write why I liked it, or I'll write my thoughts if there's something really weird going on or something I want to process through. I'll make a note of that, and then she then can read that when she gets to that part. And it's a really special way to read a book with someone who lives 8 hours away. First of all, I will share that I already started my summer reading because I couldn't wait. And that first book was called The Husbands. The Husbands was so good. Essentially, the character has a new husband every time one goes in the attic, a new one comes down, and it's like an alternate universe. So sometimes if she gets a new husband, she might have longer hair, or maybe her calves are stronger because she and that husband exercise together, or her carpet will be a different shade, or there might be a picture on the wall that wasn't there before. And so every time she gets a new husband, she has to figure out what's going on. And is her sister still okay? Does her sister still have kids? One of the times her sister didn't have kids anymore, and so she sent that husband right back up, and a new one came down. It may sound really weird, but it was such a fun book to read. I put notes all throughout, and at the very end, I wrote a note to my sister telling her what my thoughts were on the book, and I already sent that to her so she can start reading that one. It was a blast. I highly recommend that for this summer. I just started this one. Sarah Adams is a new author to me. She's not new, but she's new to me. And this is the rule book. What I really like about her books is they're mostly closed door. And she did say that in this book, there's an open door scene. That means that things might get a little bit steamy. And she actually warns you about it. In the first part of the book, she says, if you would prefer to skip that part, it's chapter 34, so you can just skip that chapter if that makes you uncomfortable. I like that. I think that's really considerate. So anyway, I like her writing because it's still super fun and romantic, but it doesn't have all of the things that sometimes get a little bit uncomfortable. And Catherine Center is the same way. If you're looking for an author that it's not too over the top with the romance stuff, but still a really sweet story with the characters, Catherine Center is also great. This is one of her newer books, Hello Stranger. It's fantastic, and I brought it because I don't have her new book yet. It's coming out soon, called The Rom-Commers. I highly recommend anything by Catherine Center. It's really fun. And of course, I have pre-ordered that book. So Rom-Commers is coming soon. Have you read any Carly Fortune's books? She is a newer writer. The first book I read of hers was her debut novel called Every Summer After. It was probably the best book I read last summer. So good, I'm gonna read it again, it's on my list. And then she came out with a book called Meet Me at the Lake, and that came out last summer. I didn't really care for that one. In fact, I didn't even finish it, which was kind of surprising because I loved her first one so much. But you know, that happens, and I've heard of a lot of people who really liked Meet Me at the Lake, my sister included. I just wasn't a big fan, so I abandoned that one, and it's okay to stop reading books if you're not into it. I stopped reading that one. This is her new one. I'm still giving it a chance because I really liked her first one so much. This one just came out. This summer will be different, so maybe this book will be different too, and I'm excited. You'll notice that when I get books, sometimes I'll go ahead and put the little tab in there because this is how I keep track of where I'm at in the book. Bookmarks fall out, but these little sticky things don't, and they don't get stuck to your page. Okay, so one of my favorite reading memories is right when everything shut down during COVID, I went on the Modern Mrs. Darcy's website and ordered several books, and I had never done that before, just ordered books for myself to read because we used the library, but we couldn't use the library at that time. So I ordered all these books, and I'll show you a picture if I can find it of the stack of books that I got. Abby Jimenez was one of those authors of those books. It was called the Happily Ever After playlist, and it was delightful. So I haven't read anything else from her, but this just came out and it's called Just for the Summer. Notice the theme. I'm looking for summer books since it is summertime. I love to put myself in the summertime. So this book just came out and I got it and I'm excited. And then I think I'm gonna go ahead and read her other things too, the backlist, because my friend Wendy just told me that she's really liking Yours Truly, I think it is. So I wrote that on my list and I requested that from the library today. But unfortunately, these books that are so popular, you're like 4th or 5th on the list, sometimes 100th on the list. So sometimes you just have to buy them, and that's okay. Now, Emily Henry is also a very popular author right now. Her stuff's really fun. It is open door, so that gets a little bit too much for me sometimes. I did not finish her book last summer called The Happy Place. I just wasn't a huge fan of that book, but I really do like some of the other books she's written. And so I actually have this sticker that my sister sent me because she went to a book party for the new book that is out called Funny Story. And my sister is sending that book to me. And I'm really excited to read it. So that's on my summer reading list. But Funny Story, she has Happy Place, Book Lovers, People We Meet on Vacation. I really liked that one. And Beach Read. I think Beach Read was also one of those books in that stack with my COVID reading list, but I had never read her before. That might have been her first book, I don't know. But People We Meet on Vacation was really great too. I liked the main girl and guy in that book a lot. I also got these stickers too that my sister sent me. That's the one I used, but Emily Henry, yeah. So I do recommend her books. They are fun, and Funny Story is new. So again, you might have to buy that one if you can't get it at your library. Of course, I recommend sharing these books with your friends. Maybe find a friend that you can make a list with too, and that way you're not buying all the books and you can exchange books. And I think it's really special, again, to write those notes to my sister. It's just fun. I read a book 2 summers ago on the beach, and there was a part where she had put like a heart and said, "I'm thinking of you" in this part. And it was just really sweet. I think that was a Catherine Center book, but it was just really sweet to read that and be at the beach and think of my sister. Oh, and my phone just showed a pop-up that one of my books just came in from the library. So this book I just finished, but I think you should put it on your summer reading list, Tarzan of the Apes. Our school this year did Disney's Tarzan as the school musical, and it was incredible. And then my mother-in-law and father-in-law got this for my son who was in the play, and they got it just thinking it would be like a memento, you know, because it's the story that this play originated from, that the Disney movie originates from, that really everything Tarzan originates from. And it was written in 1912. So sometimes older books can be a little bit dry, a little bit boring even, I will say, a little bit boring. But he started reading it, he's in 4th grade, and he was just mesmerized and he wasn't putting it down. And I thought, I want to read this book too. And I was a little bit concerned because I wanted to make sure that Jane and Tarzan weren't getting into anything too crazy up in the trees. So I was going to read along with him. And we each had our own little bookmark in it, and we were reading it so fast. It took us a couple days. It was so good. We kept passing it back and forth. Like I'd be reading it out in the hammock and he'd say, "Mom, I think I'm ready to read it again." I was like, okay. So I'd put my bookmark in, and I recommend this. It was a page turner. I loved it. I'm going to admit something to you. I love to read. I love Jane Austen, but sometimes it takes you a little bit to get into it. Sometimes the language is hard to understand. So it takes work to read a Jane Austen novel, at least for me. It takes work. And that's why some of the newer stuff is a little more fun, because it's not so much work to read it. It's still a delightful experience to read Jane Austen or older books. It's just not easy. This was easy. This was fun, so well written and interesting. So I highly recommend this for your summer book list if you want to give it a try. And no, Jane and Tarzan were just fine. Very PG. Okay, let me see if there's anything else on my book list. Oh, okay, another one that I've heard of that is probably coming to my house today. It's called How to End a Love Story. I don't know much about this book. I've just been seeing it everywhere. So it looks very popular and it looks like fun. And I wanted to get that one too. So that's on my summer reading list, but I don't have it here today. I think it's at my house on my porch waiting for me. If you are more into nonfiction, or if you like to switch it up a little bit, I am almost finished with this. My sister has read it several times and I've never given it a go. The Lazy Genius Way. This is really funny and really good. I'm learning a lot, and I mean, how many books can we read about how to keep our house well? this is very good. It's fun and it has really practical tips. One of the main things being choose once. So if you're gonna go to birthday parties for your kids, just choose one thing you're gonna give to all the kids, unless gift giving is your passion. And that's what it's about. It's about being a genius about the things that matter to you and lazy about the things that don't. So if gift giving is not your passion, you don't have to be a genius about it. You can be lazy about it. And you can just say, for every kid we go to a birthday party for, it's a $5 gift card to McDonald's, something like that. But then if it's important to you, that's the thing you want to be a genius about. And you can put your heart into that, but you don't have to do that for everything. Not everything is our passion. We all have different passions. So very good book. I'm also reading Worry Less So You Can Live More. This is by Jane Murbieta, and it's been very good. It's written with very lovely language, and it's just been a nice reflection with some practical things, surprising simple ways to feel more peace, joy, and energy. I'm enjoying this book as well. And then on my summer reading list, I've read this before, but I bought it for myself after a hard day that I had, and I went to Barnes & Noble by myself, which doesn't happen often, and I got this book, Gift from the Sea by Anne Morrow Lindbergh. And this is just a really lovely reflection on life. It's beautifully written. The back says, patience, patience, patience is what the sea teaches. Patience and faith. One should lie empty, open, choiceless as a beach, waiting for a gift from the sea. I love the ocean, so I got this book to read over the summer, just little reflections. I will probably read this during my morning reading time. So in case you're wondering, morning is when I read the most during the school year. I wake up early, I have coffee, and I'll read my nonfiction books, maybe 1 or 2 chapters from each of them. And that's where this would come in as well. And then I do that along with whatever Bible study I'm working through at the time. But during the summer and on weekends, that's when I can sit in my hammock and read these fun fiction books that just take you away to other worlds. One more recommendation, just in case you want to read a book with your children or just on your own. I read this year, A Wrinkle in Time. I loved it so much. It was such a delightful read, and I really like reading middle school fiction because it's a fast read, and yet it can be very deep and moving. So I do recommend this. If you haven't read this, or if it's been a while since you have, put this on your list, A Wrinkle in Time. It was fantastic. Okay. That's my summer reading list. I have more that's gonna be on there tomorrow, because tomorrow is the Modern Mrs. Darcy summer reading party. And my sister and I have done that every year together for about 3 or 4 years now, where we log in and listen to what her summer book reveals are, books that are coming out, and it's just a really fun way to start the summer. So we're gonna be doing that tomorrow. I'll link all that information below in case you want to join that reading party, but it's a blast. It's just really fun. There's one during the day and then one in the evening in case you can't make that one. I'm gonna leave the comments open at the bottom. I would love to hear what your recommendations are for this summer. If you've read any of these, have you read The Husbands yet? I cannot wait to talk to anyone about it because it's still new and no one's read it yet. So I'm excited to talk to people about this book. It was so fun. Happy summer reading. I'll see you next time. Bye.